The real news here is that there are actual human beings who went to work, slaved probably more than 8 hours a day, had to put up with an insufferable boss in order to get money. And what did they do with that money? They went and they spent it on Disney's Little Mermaid. They gave money to the mouse. Haha! In order to be treated with what appears to be, according to them, a very dark and gloomy show. Not dark and gloomy as in evil or nefarious. No, like literally the lights weren't there. Like you can barely see what happens on the screen. And this sparked a conversation about the fact that many movies that are coming in the current age are suffering from the same thing. And as you can see here in this article, Game of Thrones, very famous, especially the season finale. The Batman, Mandalorian has a couple of seasons. So the question is, like, why is it that directors are making these movies in the dark? Well, apparently, it's because they have more meaning. This is the same explanation as the Bidenomics. It's because we can. They're literally saying that if you make it more dark, it gets the story to be more serious. It makes it more realistic. So, instead of the live-action Little Mermaid, I guess they should recall it the Little Cave Dweller, right? I mean, look, I genuinely do not understand what is with this obsession with realism. I mean, you have a story about a teenage girl that's a stalker living at the bottom of the sea, trying to stalk the prince. You have a story about a talking teapot, and you have another story about a boy who never ages. You know what we should do? We should add realism into it. Yes, absolutely. It's also fascinating if realism means just making it darker. It's like, oh, what's that sound? It's probably Ariel. I don't know. I mean, I can't see shit. You know what I think? No, seriously, I think they're ashamed. They are ashamed of their own production. So they have to cover it up. Like, they know it's not going to sell, so they're like, oh, well, let's put some darkness over it so people don't really realize the extent of the horror that we're trying to display on screen. Like, if I want realism, I can just turn off the television and look outside. A singing mermaid, you know, a boy who never ages is not meant to be a gritty expose of life beneath the sea or in a magic castle. It's fantasy, you know, this is why anime gets it right. Like, nothing that anime does is supposed to be realistic. They are supposed to convey real human emotions, and this is why it's so popular. Meanwhile, you look at the Western stuff, and when you understand that this is how directors think, you know, besides the message, besides all of that, they're thinking that, hey, you know, we need to make it more realistic. We need to make it more dark. God. But, you know, I guess I do remember a time when things were actually visible, and this is why live adaptations really do not sell as well. You can look at the Disney cartoon, which is colorful, it's beautiful, brimming with life, and then you can look at the garbage that they just made, which is the Festival of Darkness, among other issues. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.